In the early 14th century, the ruling French Capetian dynasty came to an end with the death of Charles IV in 1328. As he died without a male heir, the question of succession arose. The French nobility supported Philip VI from the House of Valois to take the throne. However, England's King Edward III also had a claim, as his mother was the daughter of a former French king. French succession laws barred inheritance through the female line, and Edward's claim was rejected. In response, he asserted his right to the French crown by force, sparking a war that would last for over a century. The early phases of the Hundred Years' War saw significant English victories, most notably at Crécy and Poitiers. These battles demonstrated the effectiveness of England's military strategy, particularly the use of longbowmen against French knights. However, the war was not one-sided. By the late 14th century, under King Charles V, France regained much of its lost territory. A period of relative peace followed, though tensions remained. By the early 15th century, the war reignited under King Henry V of England. France was politically divided, with internal struggles between two rival factions, the Armagnacs and the Burgundians, both vying for power. This internal discord weakened France's ability to present a united front against an external threat. Henry V saw an opportunity to press England's claim and launched a military campaign in 1415, hoping to force France into submission. Henry's campaign began with the siege of Harfleur. The siege took longer than expected, depleting his forces and leaving many soldiers sick or dead. With winter approaching and his army weakened, Henry decided not to advance further into France. Instead, he planned to march his remaining forces to Calais, an English-controlled stronghold, before returning to England. As the English army moved north, the French gathered their forces to block Henry's path. Confident in their superior numbers, they intercepted the English near the village of Agincourt on October 24. With no choice but to fight, Henry prepared for battle, setting the stage for one of the most significant clashes of the Hundred Years' War. The battlefield was narrow and muddy, flanked by thick woods. Henry took advantage of this, deploying his men in a tight formation. He placed his longbowmen at the front, protected by wooden stakes to stop cavalry charges. The French, confident in their superior numbers, charged forward, but the muddy ground slowed them down. Their heavy armor turned the battlefield into a slaughterhouse. Then the English longbows unleashed a storm of arrows. Tens of thousands fired at rapid speed. The French knights, trapped in the bottleneck, were crushed under their own weight as wave after wave fell. Despite their numbers, the French couldn't break through. Many drowned in the mud, trampled by their own comrades. After hours of relentless fighting, the French army collapsed. Henry's triumph at Agincourt cemented him as one of England's greatest warrior kings. The battle boosted English morale and forced France into years of turmoil. However, the Hundred Years' War didn't end there. While Agincourt was a legendary victory, England ultimately lost the war decades later in 1453.